Working Man Radio.
Your soul is dog.
That's right.
You're an emotional fucking.
That's right.
I don't know any more than what I'm telling you, other than I lie. I flat out freaking lie.
That's right. It's time for Rush Limbaugh's Lie of the Day.
Every single thing about you is ugly.
There's a word, I'd say it's an acronym. It's called FUD. F-U-D. FUD. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And of course, as we know, and if you're paying any attention at all, there is a full-on, organized, coordinated, across-the-board propaganda effort to spread FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt about the newly implemented, in the process of being implemented, Affordable Care Act, Barack Obama's signature achievement of his first term. The insurance exchanges come online in October, and the Republicans are busy, hard at work, trying to convince you that it's going to be a disaster and your rates are going to go up. Limbaugh says those costs are going to go through the roof. But he doesn't just say that the costs are going to go through the roof. He says they want it that way. Wait a minute. Let's listen to him.
The truth of the matter is that everybody's costs are going to skyrocket. That's the design of the plan, so that you can't afford private sector insurance and have to go to government. Single payer is what they want. And the way they're going to get you there is making it impossible to afford via insurance. That's the objective. It's always been the objective, to make it impossible for the average family to afford it.
You got that? This is an insidious plan. Obamacare was designed to fail and not work, which I guess explains why he picked a Republican plan. He picked a Republican Heritage Foundation plan. Hell, yeah, that won't work. Nothing Republicans do will work. Maybe Limbaugh's on to something here. Maybe, by golly, maybe that might be it. This might be the dirty little secret that Obama planned for this to fail. And so, of course, to make sure it failed, he picked a Republican plan. Why don't you try that? Let's use that one around the water cooler. Tell the mind-numbed Limbaugh listening moron at your water cooler. Well, of course they want it to fail. That's why they use a Republican plan. How much sense does this make? We're going to spend a whole year, and we're going to spend every bit of political capital, and we're going to drive out and rile up this teabagger base, and we're going to send them all out to the polls. And one of the reasons that that the Democrats lost seats in the 2010 elections was because they compromised away the public option. Right, all the Democrats, the Democratic activists didn't get enough, not appreciating that to get any kind of health care reform was a miracle. So, of course, being a miracle that Obama's going to get any kind of health care reform at all, he's going to pass something that's not going to work, so that having passed one health care reform that failed, he will count on you, the voters, to support him in implementing another health care reform, but this time it's going to work. Now, how much sense does that make? Oh, yes, our health care reform failed, so now you should pass a new health care reform that we've got an even better idea, and let's try this one. How much sense does that make? Right? It doesn't make any sense at all. The fact of the matter is that if Obamacare doesn't work, and if the public's health care costs go through the roof, and by the way, what are their health care costs now? What is the cost of health insurance now? But Mr. Limbaugh acts like health insurance is this affordable thing. Why was there a public pressure? Why was there political pressure? Why was it saleable? Why could you run for president on health care reform and win? Because health care was already unaffordable. It was already unaffordable. Mr. Limbaugh acts like, oh, he's making something that was working not work. No. Healthcare system didn't work already. Why are the Republicans working? If Obamacare is going to fail and can't be implemented, then why don't the Republicans get out of the way, let him implement it and have it fail? Set up those healthcare exchanges and have them fail. Instead, you've got Missouri. Missouri has passed a law that state healthcare workers, the people that work in the state's health department, they're not allowed to tell anybody about the federal exchanges by law. They're not allowed to pass information on. They are trying to keep people out of those healthcare exchanges. And the whole purpose of the healthcare exchange is a free marketplace for insurance. No, don't go into the marketplace and where you can compare policies. Stay out of those places, the ones that Our Heritage Foundation suggested we set up. Let's don't do that. Why don't they want you going into those healthcare exchanges? Why aren't they doing everything they can to implement this plan that is unworkable and undoable and will fail? I mean, if you want to repeal Obamacare, it seems to me that the best way to repeal it is to get it up and running so it cannot work. So people can say, this sucks. We need to get rid of this. But that's not what they're doing. Why aren't they doing that? Why aren't they set it up, let it fail, and when it fails, then repeal it? Why are they trying to repeal it before it ever gets a chance to work? And the answer is very, very simple. They're afraid that it will work. They're afraid that they're afraid that it won't fail. They're afraid that it will not be unworkable, undoable, and just a mess. They're afraid that once it gets up and running and it works and people like it and healthcare costs come down and premium healthcare rates come down and more people have coverage, they're afraid that once that happens, they'll never repeal it. And they're right. Just like Medicare. Oh, they hated Medicare back in 1965. You can believe it, and they did not want it to pass. And when it did, they call it socialized. They call it socialized medicine, and it is socialized medicine. Never deny that. Ask the moron at the water cooler. Is Medicare socialized medicine? And when he says yes, your answer is that's right. You're goddamn right. It's socialized medicine, and it works. And you want to get rid of it. But you can't because people like it. And that's why they're fighting tooth and nail to stop the implementation of Obamacare, not because they think it's a mess and won't work. If they thought it was a mess and it wouldn't work, they'd let it be implemented so they could use the real world experience people have as a reason to abolish it, repeal it, get rid of it. But they don't have that reason. They don't have that justification if it works. So they got to stop it from working before it works. They've got to defund it now. They've got to repeal it now. They have to tell state government officials, you can't promote this thing now. They've got to keep it from where all the red states that don't want to implement it. They got to stop people from seeing something that Barack Obama and the Democrats came up with that worked. This is the great fear of the Republicans. Yet another, it's not the first, yet another Democratic authored social democratic institution that works well and that people like. That's what the Republicans must prevent. That's what Rush Limbaugh is trying to prevent at all costs. I'm Joe Lyles. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
You've been listening to Working Man Radio with Joe Lyles at joelylesradio.com.
Your soul is gold.
The Rush Limbaugh Lie of the Day, 5 days a week at joelylesradio.com.
Every single fucking thing about you is gold.